This is our first drone. I'm pretty excited about it. It's pretty damn cool.
Man, for $199, I would get one.
Yeah, right? It's an easy recommend. Oh, I was like...
I think a couple of things which is good to mention is the battery life, right?
Yeah.
So you can't expect all too much. They actually say 18 minutes of flying time. So it's gone before you know it. Although we did do a couple of shots today.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, okay, didn't shoot so much. But if we actually thought about it, we actually shot for 2 minutes.
6 or 7 shots. We tried all the modes.
Yeah.
That's how I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after we tried all those modes and shot a little bit of the A-roll that you've been seeing in this video of us talking and talking about the drone, it came down to 1 dot, and now we're powering it up with a power bank. So that is something to keep in mind, is when you do have this device and you plan to shoot for more than 18 minutes, carry a power bank around with you, or
buy spare batteries.
So that was actually an option, right?
That was an option. So we bought the very basic pack, the €199 pack.
Yeah, we cheap like that.
We cheap like that. But I think there was a more expensive pack. We'll put it up on screen, a bunch of other stuff. So it was kind of interesting. DJI always does this upgrades. Also with the Pocket 3, they all interesting combinations.
Combos. Yeah. Or an upside of this drone, guys, compared to a lot of the other drones that you see out there, is it's very lightweight, which is also a downside. But yeah, that's another point.
Yeah.
Is because it's under 250 grams, at least here in the Netherlands, you don't need a drone flying license.
Yeah, I believe that's also the case in the US. But similar.
So this, you can buy it, no worries, you won't get fined. But are there certain no-fly zones that you should be taking into account? You should always be taking it into account, no-fly zones.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about no-fly zones, I think anything with obstacles is a no-fly zone for this guy.
Yeah.
It has no obstacle sensors. So if you're going to go through thick and a shrubbery or whatever, or like even man-made objects, be careful, because there are no motion sensors. The only sensors it has is landing sensors, where it senses your hand and then slows down and lands.
Yeah, and the whole obstacle avoidance and being quite precise in how it goes is not really its forte. As we've seen, it really does swing a lot. The reason is simple: it's lightweight, so it can take only a certain amount of maximum wind level, and after that you really do see it move, and you see it in the footage as well, as you'll see over here. They are kind of fragile, and it is really unstable right now. Let's see if it'll come back to me. Come on, that's it. And because it's a single axis gimbal, it's all right when it's filming you from an up-down motion point of view, but not from right and left. So it can't really stabilize that. So the moment it starts to swing left and right, you really do see it in the video. So one way you can kind of work around it is have the drone fly out further away from you. And then you will see less of the movement. Yeah, the tighter your shot is, the more obvious it is that it is, yawing, I think is the word. Yawing?
Yaw something and something.
Okay. Yeah. Well, put it up on screen maybe. And that is actually something you can configure in the app. So in many of those settings, or many of the drone flying options, you can have it say, okay, go out 4 meters or 6 meters or 10 meters. So yeah, that's how you can configure it.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit is, I don't think, like they sell the drone as it's just got a button, you can switch modes. For a beginner drone user like ourselves, I think maybe if one of you guys as well, you might need the app. Because you can kind of see what each of those modes means. So for me, droney didn't really mean anything. I realized it's a drone selfie later and how it looks. All that is in the app, very well laid out, the app, I must say. Very easy to configure those modes, and you can start and stop recording from the app. I would do that as a beginner, but yeah, you don't need separate control. I think the app is more than enough, and I think once maybe you're used to the app, those buttons should also be good enough.
Yeah, and just coming back to the fragility of the drone, there is a lot of swinging going on, but let us tell you a little story. So the first time we bought the drone, we actually went to a Samsung event for the Galaxy Ring. That's the one I wanted to propose to Rowan with, but plans did not plan out.
No, DJI's fault.
Planning isn't our forte, but so the wind, we were up on top of a building, a nice building in Amsterdam, and it was very windy.
It was super windy. And it was the first time we were actually using the drone as well. So I was not quite sure how you got it back down, because it was really like struggling up there. So what I did was, instead of doing this...
Well, we actually set up the shot. We were ready to do it, and then it was swinging all over the place.
And you can see some of those shots here.
And then we're like, okay, screw the proposing part.
Let's save our drone.
Let's save the drone.
And I did this, but I think it was a bit too high or whatever, I panicked. So instead of doing this, where's the drone? I did this.
Yeah.
And I put my finger inside one of those wings, and it the wing just snapped right off.
So did your finger. No, no.
Yeah, I got a bit of a scratch, but there was no blood. So that was pretty interesting. That means it's quite safe, the wings, I think, because they're made of plastic.
Yeah, and very thin plastic as well. Yeah.
And then I replaced the wings with, you get 2 spare wings in the box and a little screwdriver for those tiny screws, which you also should replace every time you replace a wing, apparently. Some B-roll of that here, but yeah, I think something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Wind is bad, but also it's repairable. And if you run out of those wings,
you can buy them. Yeah. And they're not all too expensive. So for, I think, $5, you get another 2 or 4. Not sure, we'll put it up on screen, but I felt like it was okay.
Yeah.
Right? For a drone that costs you $200, spending a couple of bucks for some propellers. And yeah, so far it's good. I have seen videos of people where the drone crashes or falls for whatever reason, and then it does break. In our case, it was just this guy grabbing the drone the wrong way. So yeah.
Grabbed it by the propeller.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So video and audio quality, of course, you can see a lot of samples here on screen. My initial view is it's good enough.
Yeah.
Right? Broad daylight, it does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
It does have trouble shifting exposure from shade to light. But once you're like in a particular location in shade, it adjusts and then it's fine. Once you're in light, it adjusts, it's fine.
Yeah.
It does tend to overexpose like all DJI products do. But skin tones, I don't think are very great. So if you go up close, I think you see a very smoothened out effect. But I don't mind it because this is a drone, right? You don't want close-up portraits of you. You want the environment.
That's what it is.
It's not the end of the world. You get a very unique looking shot, and I think 4K 30, I'm happy. Half-inch sensor, know that it comes with limitations, know that it's not going to be mind-blowing video quality, know that you don't have pro-level grading tools. Know that the picture quality indoors is going to be pretty ordinary, even if you have a reasonable amount of light. If you accept all those facts, I'm happy.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's the audio quality. So we actually shot some videos before the firmware update, and you'll see there's no audio recorded at all.
Yeah.
And then there is some which we did, and the difference was that we needed to update the firmware.
Yeah.
And once we got that, you get a little microphone icon in the app, and then you can have your phone be the microphone.
Yeah.
So as it flies off, you can just use your phone to see the footage, but also to be able to record your audio.
Yeah,
and that's what we did.
That's how we recorded the intro of this video.
And we actually thought the audio was pretty good. It didn't capture the drone hum or any of that noise.
Yeah.
Doing stuff with rockets. Oh, somebody decided to start their Porsche. Yeah. What if we walk? Does it follow us? I think it is. Oh no, it's going to hit a tree. Let's go that way.
Because it's on your iPhone and that's pretty close to you. And
I think they have tech to fuse the audio from the phone into your drone once the drone comes back to you. That's what it does.
Okay.
So some good stuff there from DJI. Very useful. And it really, the quality of the audio is the quality of your phone's mics.
That's basically
so
what
if you have good microphones on your phone, you'll have decent audio.
And you can also pair a DJI mic to your, these, to your phone, and then it'll use that microphone because it's all DJI ecosystem. You know how it works.
Level up. That levels up your audio. So
it does,
if you want to do a decent A-roll shot, not a bad idea. All right, but so should you buy the DJI Neo?
What do you think?
I don't know. The intro said it all, right? I love this thing.
Yeah.
It's a very small, sleek device. And a lot of people, with the iPhone 16 coming out just now, people are pixel peeping. Oh, the exposure is slightly better on the 16 than the 15. But this gives you something no phone can give you. It's a completely new angle, completely new points of view, 4K 30, decent quality in light. So I'm very happy. I would highly recommend this thing if you're like a camera and a gadget nerd.
So what you're saying is skip the smartphone upgrade cycle.
Absolutely.
Stop buying lenses. This is the only thing that'll get you a nice perspective.
Exactly.
None of those things can fly into the air and give you a big, shot of how it all looks like around you.
So this is great.
Yeah.
But
There are a few things you should keep in mind though. Like we said, the sensor is just a half-inch sensor, so you need good lighting. If you don't have great lighting, it's gonna be quite shite, the video quality. So as long as you're outdoor, like on a nice day like this, or just outdoor with daytime light, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Now, second point is battery life. This thing can only run for about 18 minutes, which isn't a whole lot of time. So either you're buying
Wrap it up. The battery's getting over.
I've got to wrap it up. Either you buy the combo pack with the batteries or you take a power bank with you, right?
Yeah.
And finally, the third thing is it is kind of a fragile device for 199 euros, right?
a lot of money. Yeah.
It's a lot of money, but it is very entry level. And so the propellers did break on us once.
Yeah.
It might have been our fault, but still, if this thing does fall, it will easily break Also, there's a lot of swinging, right? From right to left. What do we call that again? That's
Yawing, I think.
yawing, yeah.
We'll look it up.
But for up and down movements or for tilts, it's fine. So those are 3 things to keep in mind with this.
Yeah.
But otherwise, great package for $199 or euros or whatever.
End of life.